We bring it back again. Dun, dun. Don't mind me. Hello, everyone. Hello, doers. My name is Victoria Indu, and I'm back again on the Power Pillar series. And in this Power Pillar number 3, we're going to be looking at the power of community. Now, this is also in relation to the power of people, but I just decided to split it up, and explain. So, the Power Pillar 1, we talked about understanding times and seasons and transitions in life. Power Pillar 2, we talked about the power of people. And then right now, we want to talk about the power of community. No one becomes great alone. We all rise on the shoulders of others. You can't say, I'm a self-made man. I don't think that is anything like that. But you can tell me what you think about it in the comments. Now, community is not about how many people you know or how often you meet people. It's about alignment, purpose, and connection. I did a teaching, and I'm going to share probably my slides somewhere in the link in this video about community, but I'm not coming from the angle of that, even if I should talk about it a bit. Community is a group of people who come together, who have the same goal, who have the same purpose and everything. And so a true community should reflect on God's design for mutual strengthening, mutual shaping, and mutual support. It's sort of like the safety net for your falls. It's like the mirror for your blind spots and the sounding board for your dreams. Just think about it. For anything that you want to achieve in life, having a community helps you to get there better and even faster, I guess. There. For example, I lead the community of 3 entities. That's it. Federal government initiative where we train technical people. We want to train 3 million technical talents in Nigeria, right? Well, again, we could have done that without creating communities, but we understood that it is easier for people to get motivated to do things, especially when it comes to learning, when they're in communities. When they're in communities, they are being inspired, they are being motivated. Things that they probably would struggle to do on their own, they are now being accountable to do it because they're in community. Community also creates the space for them to learn, to have fun, and all of that, right? I always say this, when you're in the right community, it helps you connect, it helps you conquer. And so ask yourself, what are the communities and things I want to do? What are the right communities I need to join at this point in my life? There are also professional communities. You're an accountant, the communities you can join. I hear there is even Christian content creators. See, for anything that you want, there are people who are also doing almost certain things. And let me tell you, one of my friends said that the information you don't have access to is because you are not in the room of where the information is being discussed. Information is also passed in communities. There are certain opportunities that you will not find outside certain communities. So find your community, whether a professional community, there's community of situation or circumstance. There's a whole lot of that. I'm not going into the professional kind of community teaching, right? But we need to understand that the world is obsessed with self-reliance, the power of me. I did this, I did that. But the power of people reminds us that no one builds anything significant alone. You can't have all the gifts and all the talents that you need to be able to build something, especially if it is big. Except what you want to build is only for yourself and your family. But when it requires something that is big, you need people, right? And that's community. It's not just about networking, it's about belonging. So find a good community that's in line with your value, in line with your interest, and then not just be part of it as a numerical count, but actually be part of it in terms of giving value, right? You need to be in that community and give value in that community. Let people know you are in the community. I always give an example, right? There was a community where we're part of, and then they asked the community leader to suggest or nominate somebody who was going to go for an international opportunity. You can't expect the community leader to nominate somebody who is not active, or nominate somebody who does not even know what is in that community, does not post, is not involved. And so certain opportunities you will not be able to access. Even if you are in that opportunity, you will not still be able to access it because you are not giving value. You are not being present. You are not being active in that community. Community is not just a luxury, it's also a divine strategy for growth and preservation. But the kind of community you cultivate will determine whether it will elevate you or whether it will stifle you. And this is where discernment comes in. All right. And so let me talk about relationship a bit, which is also a continuation from the last pillar I talked about. Now, When we're talking about communities, we're also talking about relationship. Communities as a group. We're also going to talk about communities as individual relationship building. You need to be able to categorize your relationship into different buckets. Number one, you have the builders. Those are people that challenge you. Those are people that stretch you. Or a community that challenges you or stretches you. When you go there, you see people doing things. I think there's even one community my husband joined recently, which is the what's this thing they call them? Where you have to, when you join the community, so that one person was reading, getting a product, set product like 10, I mean 12 in a year. And it sort of like challenged him to say, you know what, I'm going to build a product, a tech product every quarter. So you need to find what are the builders, either community in terms of relationships or community as a group. Then number two, burden carriers. Some people are not builders, but they could possibly be burden carriers. Those are people who hold space for you in moments of weakness. I'm not going to talk too much about that. Number three, you have the multipliers. Those are the people who amplify your gifts and help you to rise. They project the things that you do. Oh, Victoria is doing something, they are posting it everywhere, they're talking about it everywhere, amplifying the things that you do. Number four, you also have familiar faces. Those are people you love who may not have the capacity to contribute to your next level. And that's the problem. I was supposed to mention this in the power of the people. But I mean, since we're still all talking about relationship in this, I decided to talk about it here. There are some people that might not necessarily add to you in terms of what you need for the next level. But these are people that you love and they also love you. They are just holding space for you in terms of being there and might not necessarily contribute, but they are also not taking away from you. So you also need to have that in mind. Not everyone in your circle or not every community is meant for every season. I always say this. Not everything good is good for you and at a particular season. And that's the same thing with community. The community that carried you in one chapter of your life may not have the capacity for where God is taking you to next. This is not about pride, though. This is not about, that sometimes when you're moving to the new year, it always happens in November, December, January. New year, new me. I'm dumping people who don't, we're always dumping and we're always letting go of. Please, this is not what I'm talking about, right? Now, this is also an emphasis on the story I said in Jonathan's and David's life, where Jonathan was not just a friend, he was also a strategic ally. He was also a defender. He was a supporter who risks his own future. Imagine going against your own father for a friend, right? And so there are lots of examples. Another very profound example, oh my God, I forgot to mention it in the last video and I have to say this here, is Moses in Exodus. Now, there was a story about the Israelites. They went to war and the instruction was that Moses had to lift up the banner. And as far as his hands were up, the Israelites were going to win in battle. But he noticed that whenever he puts his hands down, they will be losing in battlefront. What was the solution to that? He noticed he's a human being, flesh. It means that there are some things that you will do, no matter how big an achiever you are, you will get tired at some point, right? Moses' hands grew weary during the battle. Aaron and Hur were, basically held his hands up so that Israelites will keep winning. And so today I'm asking you, who is your Aaron? Who is your Hur? Because yes, Moses was the leader. Moses was the only one called in that sense. But he needed people to hold his hands up, right? During the battle. Their support was what sustained him and was what brought victory to the Israelites. So sometimes victory will not come from your strength, will not come from your smartness, will not come from your intelligence and strategy. It will come from the hands that are holding you up. Right. And so I want you to be able to practice this. Number one, discern your communities. Discern, align. Just check your alignments. What are the communities I need to join, whether professional communities or in terms of relationships? And then reflect on that relationship or community in your life. Are they speaking growth to my life? Are they draining me? Are they taking my energy instead? And then start pruning what no longer aligns with your God-given direction. And number two, seek covenant relationships and community. These are not just surface level friendship. These are deep intentional connection where both parties are invested in each other's purpose. It's not about me, myself, and I. It's also as much as for the other person as well. So I need you to pray and ask God for divine connection and also be willing to nurture them. Number three, become what you seek. This again, like I said, this power pillar 3 is a continuation from power pillar 2. Great communities are not stumbled upon. Great friendships are not stumbled upon, they are cultivated. So be the person who encourages other people, who supports, who gives value, who uplifts people, and then you will be able to reap what you have sown. And then number 4, leverage collective wisdom. I mean, that's the essence of community. Start or join a circle of like-minded people who will challenge your thinking, who will inspire your growth, who will hold you accountable. So my question for you today, and well, I need you to ask yourself this question. Who are the people in your life that is currently shaping your thoughts, shaping your actions and your habits? And then are they leading you closer to God's vision for your life? Write the names of these people down and find out how can you honor them this week. This is the assignment I'm giving to everybody, including myself. Join professional communities, give value, be active, and you reap from those communities. So let's take our affirmation as we always do. Tell yourself, and let's do this together. You can put your hand on your chest, you can close your eyes, anyhow you want to do it, and just say, I am surrounded by life giving relationships. I am surrounded by purposeful relationship. God has aligned me with people who will strengthen my purpose, who will challenge my growth, and work with me in covenant. You see, God hides purpose in people. And your destiny or your next step or your next opportunity is often tied to relationships that you're willing to nurture and steward. And so I'm rooting out for you today to honor the people in your life and seek out other meaningful connections as well. Bye for now. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. What was the favorite thing you heard about this video and what you want to hear about in subsequent videos as well? I can maybe add them as one of the power pillars that I've already documented for you. Bye for now.